Hello everyone. Today we will understand a very important concept of Java, multi-threading. To understand the multi-threading, let us take an example from our real life. Everybody is using WhatsApp. So let us go to the WhatsApp. As soon as we have opened the WhatsApp, messages starts coming. We can send the messages, notification comes, status updates come. So we see that when the WhatsApp opened, parallel things are happening over there. So let us map it with the programming. Suppose we have opened a process and parallel things are going over there without interrupting each other. The switching of the process is not going, but the parallel things are going over there. Maybe they are switching, but in a very uh, less fraction of second that we are not able to understand. So this is called multi-threading. Means WhatsApp is a process and the going messages, coming messages, notifications, they are the threading portions. That is multi-threading. One more example we can understand. Suppose we are downloading a movie or a video from the internet. So while downloading, if there are no threading codes in the program, then when we are downloading the video or the application will be freezed. We cannot use the application or we cannot watch the video during that downloading time. But if there is a code of multi-threading, we can download and parallelly we can watch the video. Parallelly we can use that application. This is the application of multi-threading. So today we'll understand the multi-threading concept and we will implement it by a program also to understand the implementation and the output. Let us come to the diagram to understand the life cycle of a thread. See the diagram. This is the diagram. This will illustrate how a thread will be created and how it will be go to the dead state. First of all, a thread is created, that is a new state, and then it is ready for going inside the processor and waiting for the CPU. That is called runnable stage of the thread. After the runnable stage, when the thread is getting the processor, it goes to the running stage, and after running state, it will be dead. After the process will end, it goes to the dead state. Now between running and runnable there is a stage called blocked. Blocked means suspended or waiting or sleeping for some time. Why it is required to sleep? Because there are parallel threads working. So if one will sleep, then only the processor is only one, so they need to switch their processes. So one is sleeping, one is suspended, then another will come into the work. This is how this block stage works. As soon as the another one will be sleeping, the first one will come to running or runnable. So this is the life cycle of the thread. And one more very important thing, this life cycle of a thread we can directly see in our program by implementing it practically. This is not only a conceptual thing or only theoretical based hypothetical thing. No, it will be implemented in the program. Now we'll implement and we'll see each and every stage of the multi-threading, how the threads are from new to dead state. They are in our program, they are implemented. So let us come to the editor and we will see how they are implemented. So this is our editor and we'll start the programming in Java to understand the multi-threading concept. So first of all, we'll create our main class because we know in Java everything in the class only. So we'll write the access specifier. We'll start from here. We'll write the access specifier public. Then we'll write class keyword to creating the class. And as we are illustrating multi-threading, so we'll give the same name. Always it is a good practice to give the relevant name to the program, multi-threading demo. This is our program. And inside that, we will create two classes for two threads, because one class it will be not able to understand the parallel processing, how they are working. So two classes we will create and we will see how they are switching. So first class we are creating static class number printer. It will print the numbers basically. And now the very important things come. Thread is something that is built inside a class, and inside that class all life cycle processes are defined by different functions. There are functions, there is a class inside that. The life cycle of a thread is defined in their functions. So we need to only extend the thread class in our program here, and we will use by extending means we are inheriting all the properties. When all the properties will come in our class, we can just use them by calling the methods. So that is our main function. We will just extend the thread and we will use our thread functions inside our program. This is how multi-threading works. The functions are already defined. Some needs to be defined or overwritten, that we will see, which are directly will be used and which we will define. One by one we will see. So first of all, we are creating our number printer class. So we now extend means inheriting the thread class which is there inside already. So we have inherited. Inside this class, we will create a new definition of already defined run class, which is for running stage of the thread. Running stage we have seen in the life cycle. So for that there is a function called run function that we are going to redefine according to our need. It is defined in the thread class, but it was empty definition. So user needs to redefine according to their need. Okay, so run class will be redefined. What we are defining here, we are using for loop, and we are going to print numbers from 1 to 5. Simple program we are writing over here just to understand. So no complexities, we are just using a loop and we are defining inside that for loop what we want that our program will print numbers, only numbers according to the loop. And now one more thing, thread will start running. Okay, another thread will come also. So both parallelly together cannot get the processor. One need to be suspended or blocked for some time, then another will come. For that what we do is, for some time, for 500, 600, 1000 millisecond, you keep it a pause for this thread, running thread, and then the other will come. So that is required to be suspended. For that we will use sleep method. It is already defined also. We are just using the sleep method because we have extended the thread class and sleep is defined. We are just giving redefining time according to our need. We are giving the second definition according to our time, for how many seconds we want to pause it. Okay. So we are keeping it sleep for 500 milliseconds, and outside this try, we'll understand now why we are keeping in try and catch block. Outside this we are keeping in catch, and what to catch, that will be interrupted exception e object will be, and then something to be printed. If it will be interrupted, then something to be printed. So we'll print the object only. Whatever object will be generated will be printed. So this is our object E. Now let us understand first why inside try and catch block. Let's suppose this is sleeping mode of the thread 1. Thread 1 is sleeping, and somehow any interruption come, anyone interrupted the sleep, then this will be an exception. Exception means runtime error, because this is sleeping mode and something is going to interrupt it. So it may throws the exception, it may throws the runtime error. For that already we can call it safe side, but not the safe side. It is the rule basically to keep it inside try and catch, because interruption method will be used. If somebody wants to interrupt or user only have used interrupt method, then this thread will definitely throw the exception and that time problem arises. For that we are using it inside the try and catch block. And what is there in the catch block? It throws the exception and it will print java.lang interrupted exception, because it will throw the same object at it was interrupted by the interrupt method. So this is how we are keeping it inside. Sleeping interruption will be possible, so that sleep method or suspend method will be always inside the try and catch block. Now we are going to our second class. Second class means subclass, because we want to create two threads. Static class, and now this is the class to print the letters. One is printing the number and second will print the letters. This is also extending our thread class, because we need it. Thread class already have all the functions. Then again we are calling or redefining the, not calling but actually redefining our run method, which is emptily defined in our thread class. Here we are again taking the for loop for printing the characters. So char C, and we'll start from A. Let us take the single inverted A, then up to E we will go, and then we will increment the E. After that, inside the loop we will write what to print, the letters to be printed one by one, so that only to be written one by one. Here we'll write plus and C. Okay, so this is our loop defined now, and inside this loop only we will suspend the thread for some time. And already I said we have to keep it inside the try catch block. Thread dot sleep, because this sleep method is also defined inside the thread method thread class, and inside also we are giving 500 milliseconds semicolon, and then catch. Again it will catch interrupted exception. Again it will catch interrupted exception E. Interrupted exception E, and now this catch will print the object whatever object will be created. I said java.lang.interrupted exception will be printed, because this is the object will be generated by java.lang package. Okay, this is done, and now we'll go to our main function from where the execution will start. Public static void main, and then our string, our array symbol, and our arguments args. So now we will now create the objects. Objects means we will now going to create the object. We'll initialize the object and we will keep the reference of that object into one variable. So the variable will hold it and the variable will do it. This is the concept actually. This goes on. Object is something which has been created in the heap, inside the heap memory. There it is created, it is initialized, and the whatever data member of class type we are creating here will hold the reference. Let us understand by the example. You have a house. So you are not holding the house in the hands and roaming here and there. You are just holding the address of that house for any type of task. So this is how this reference works, which we are going to create. So our first class is number printer. For that class, we are creating a reference object. That is the first. You can say it is a data variable. We can say T1 is a variable, and now the object will be created by new. Keyword new will be used to bond the object. Object will be bond, and then number printer. This is the method. Constructor. Okay, special type of method, constructor method, because you can see the name number printer is same as the name of the class which we have created over here. See, this is our number printer class. The number printer class and number printer method, it means what? This is a constructor, by default constructor. So as soon as the object will be created, it will initialize our object, and then letter printer T2. The second variable we have created to hold the reference, again the new, and letter printer our class name for which we are creating the object. So this is how this will be created. This new will create. Number printer is a constructor to initialize the object. Whenever created, initialized, after that the reference of that object will be saved to T2. Same in the case of T1 also and T2 also. Now one more function from the thread class we are going to use. We have used already run function. Okay, we have used already sleep function. Now one more function we are going to use, that is start function, to keep our threads into the runnable stage, means ready to run stage, waiting for the processor stage. So for that we are calling start function by the references we have created, so that it will run for the same reference of that class, and that class will be called whenever the processor is ready to give the chance. T1 dot start means for which class T1 has created. The T1 has been created for number printer class, and number printer will be called, and for loop for the number printer will be executed, means run method inside the number printer will be running. Okay. Then T2 dot start, this is for the T2. This is how, here we have to start the curly braces also, I'm so sorry, and then here we have to close it. This is how we have written our program, and then we have written our program, and now we are going to run it, and we will understand how this is running. Now we are going to run it. So let us see how the output is generated. As we will see the output, first is number equal to 1. It means what? This loop is running and 1 is being printed. After that, 2 times this letter printer loop AB was running, then again number, then again letter printer, number, letter printer, number, letter printer. There is no order because these outputs are non-deterministic. Reason being, these outputs are totally dependent upon the operating system, upon the processor and their thread scheduling. Accordingly, they will be scheduled, they will be running. They are not dependent on Java and user. Okay. So as soon as T1 will be called, it is not required T1 will be running. T2 and T1 both are in the runnable stage. Processor defines which process to be given to the processor, which process to be given to the chance. But yes, parallelly both are running. They are switching actually in between the processes, and sleeping time we have given also. Accordingly, the CPU decides which function will sleep and which function will run. So this is how multi-threading works. If we want that ordered output should come according to the user's definition, the order should come. According to the user desired, the order should come. There is a function called join. So accordingly, the user definition can be given and output will be some up to somehow deterministic. Order can be possible, desired order. So that will be seen in the next lectures. I hope you understand the concept. Thank you.